For this purpose, government has introduced Section 12 AA and ATG registration, under which such institutions' income will be exempted from income tax. In India, there are a lot of institutions registered for charitable purposes such as imparting training or education to the poor section of the society, or some benefits given to the sections of the society. And for this purpose, government has introduced Section 12 AA and ATG registration, under which such institutions' income will be exempted from income tax. So let us understand what is Section 12A. Well, Section 12A is the registration of the trust, and Section 12AA deals with the online procedure of the registration of the trust. So when a trust or an NGO registers itself under Section 12A, then the income is exempted from the tax. So the entire income will not be taxable if the NGO is registered under Section 12A. If not registered, then the income will be payable on the surplus during that financial year. And when Section 80G is providing benefits to the donor of the donations in this NGO. So if the donor is registered and if the NGO is registered under Section 80G of the Income Tax Act, the donor will get financial benefits as far as his income is concerned for providing such donations. Registration under Section 80G5 provides a lot of benefits to the non-government organization. Well, when the NGO has Section 80G5 certificate with itself, the donor who provides the donation to the NGO will get a lot of financial benefits for the donations that he has made. And if the NGO has registered itself under Section 80G5, then the person who is making a donation will get a deduction of 50% from his taxable income, and by doing so, the NGO will attract more donors. The newer compliances under Section 12A and Section 12AA of Income Tax Act. Well, all the existing trusts and institutions which are registered under Section 12A or 12AA under Income Tax Act will now have to move to new provision Section 12AB with effect from 1st January 2021. All the newly registered trusts or institutions which have registered themselves for the very first time will get a provisional registration which will be valid for 3 years. Prior to 6 months from the completion of the provisional registration, an application for the renewal of provisional registration has to be made. And all the trusts which are registered under Section 12A and 12AA of Income Tax Act, the period that they will be registered under the Act will be that for the 5 years. So there has to be an application after 5 years for the renewal of the same. What will happen to the exemptions under Section 12A and ATG under the new scenario? Well, all the trust and NGO who have been already registered under Section 12A and ATG shall have to reapply again for the exemption post 1st April 2021, and they will have to register under the new provision of Section 12AB. Once the registration is done, this will be valid for another 5 years, and again after 5 years they will have to re-register themselves again. And all the trusts and NGOs who have registered themselves for the very first time, they will have to reapply for the exemption after 3 years and thereafter after 5 years. Well, there are certain consequences as far as the new provision are concerned. One, the compliance now will be shifted to a new section which is Section 12AB, and the compliance will be more cumbersome and costlier for the NGOs. There will be more administrative tax burden on the tax authorities, and the government will have more leverage and more control over the activities of the NGOs. What are the documents required for ATG registration? First of all, we will require the registration certificate of the Section 8 company, trust or the society. We will require the bylaws and the MO and EOA copies of the company. We will require the digital signature of one of the directors or the trustees. We will also require the detailed activities of this trust or the society. We will also require the audited reports of the trust or the society since incorporation, and audited financial statements of the Section 8 company or the trust or the society since incorporation. And lastly, we will require Section 12A certificate. And what are the documents required for Section 12A registration? Well, it is kind of very similar to what is required for Section 80G registration. We will require the registration certificate of the Section 8 company or the trust or the society. Second, we will require the bylaws of the company and the MOA and EOA copies. We will also require the digital signature of one of the director or the trustees of the trust and the society. We'll also require the PAN card of all the trustees or the directors and Aadhaar card of all the trustees or the directors. And lastly, we'll require the audited reports of the trust or Section 8 company or the society since incorporation and the audited financial statements. Well guys, to sum it up, please don't forget that all the existing NGOs registered under Section 12A need to register themselves again post 1st April 2021 under the new Section 12AB. And if you want to start a non-government organization or a non-profit organization, be it in any form, a trust, a Section 8 company or a society, why don't you give us a call and we will rightfully answer all your queries. And there is a wonderful curated blog by our in-house experts. Please have a look at it so that all your queries and questions will be answered. So that's all from my side today. I hope I was clear enough to clear all your doubts and queries. If there is anything, please feel free to contact us. This is Anuja signing off for today. Have a good day, guys.